Response.
First, it's worth emphasizing that the $150,000 single well financial assurance amount already incorporates a significant reduction from OCD's actual average plugging cost of $163,000 per well. Further, the $163,000 plugging cost figure represents the actual average cost to OCD to plug wells. There's no question that some wells will cost less and some will cost more. Unfortunately, OCD doesn't have the luxury of ignoring the top 10% of most expensive orphan wells. They must plug them all. Under this average-based approach, the bond coverage will be less than the actual cost to OCD in many instances. That's a risk to the state, but one that it is reasonable to ask the state to bear as balanced against the cost to individual operators of securing and maintaining the required financial assurance. Mr. Arthur would tip this balance so that it is overwhelmingly tilted in favor of operators and to the detriment of the state, ensuring inadequate bond coverage in the majority of cases. Such an approach is unfair and unjustified and pushes the costs of cleaning up after a profitable industry onto the communities who must live with unplugged wells and who are deprived of the alternative uses to which state funds that could go to plugging would otherwise be put. Finally, it's worth noting that operators are not required to pay the full financial assurance amount out of pocket. Instead, operators pay a fraction of that cost in the form of annual premiums and collateral requirements. To secure a financial assurance such as a surety bond, for example, an operator with 100 marginal wells would not pay $15 million out of pocket. Instead, assuming an annual premium of 2.5%, the annual cost would be closer to $375,000.
NAMOCA witness Mr. Arthur recommends on page 85 of his rebuttal testimony that operators with proven compliance records and strong safety performance should be able to qualify for reduced bonding or blanket bond options. Similarly, he recommends that flexibility extend to recognition of well-specific conditions. Mr. Arthur claims that such an approach would be consistent with your testimony regarding the incorporation of compliance incentives into financial assurance systems. What is your response?
Nothing in my testimony, including on the pages cited by Mr. Arthur, endorses a compliance incentive approach to financial assurances. Setting that aside, there are two problems with Mr. Arthur's recommendation. First, consideration of operator or well-specific conditions would dramatically increase the administrative burden on OCD. Given current agency resources and staffing levels, this is simply not practical. Second, properly structured financial assurance programs with bonding levels tied to the actual cost of plugging inherently provide appropriate incentives for operators. The costs of maintaining financial assurance instruments, including premiums and collateral requirements imposed by surety bond providers, serve as a counter to the economic pressures that motivate operators to avoid and delay plugging for as long as possible.
NAMOCA witnesses Ms. Felix on pages 65 through 66, Mr. Sporich on pages 14 through 17, and Mr. Arthur on page 104 of their respective rebuttal testimony claim that the proposed requirement at the point of registration or transfer that operators certify compliance with other states' laws is unauthorized by statute. What is your response?
Nothing in the proposed amendments, either before or after incorporation of the changes negotiated among OCC applicants and OCD, authorizes or requires OCD to take any action outside of its jurisdiction. The disclosure of forfeitures, adjudicated orders, and settlement agreements in other jurisdictions applies to final determinations already reached by regulators in those jurisdictions and merely provides OCD with information to inform purely New Mexico-focused actions regarding operators seeking to do business in New Mexico. It's important for OCD to know if an operator has a history of non-compliance at its facilities out of state, such as would be identified by bond forfeiture or by an adjudicated order or settlement agreement, as this allows OCD to gauge the likelihood of an operator's capacity and willingness to satisfy New Mexico's program requirements.
This ends Mr. Morgan's testimony.
Thank you very much, Ms. O'Grady and Mr. Morgan. We will break for the day. Yeah. Oh, yes, Mr. Cloutier.
Since Mr. Morgan's testimony was kind of coming fast and furious at us on the rebuttal, and it appears to be written out, can we get a copy of it?
I don't believe that is a
Requirement.
requirement. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. We'll resume again at 9 in the morning and begin with public comment. Thank you.